If you want to bring the very best dip to the party, you're gonna need this jalapeno popper dip in hand. The cream cheese mix is almost identical to the flavor that you would get from inside of a jalapeno popper. It's just downright addictive, and it's not gonna get any better than this. I feel passionately about it.
Really good.
You'll start by dicing up some bacon and adding it to a large skillet over medium-high heat. Cook that bacon until it's crispy to your liking, just about 6 to 8 minutes. Then you'll remove the bacon from the pan using a slotted spoon and making sure you leave that grease behind. Now you're gonna add in half of a yellow onion dice, 4 jalapeno peppers seeded in dice. And when it comes to seeding jalapenos, by far my most favorite tool to use is this jalapeno corer. It makes getting the membrane and the seeds out of the jalapeno so simple and so fast. The fresh jalapeno in this recipe is what makes this dip so closely mimic the flavors of a jalapeno popper. It's so much better than scooping soggy jalapenos out of a can. Trust me, you gotta go fresh. So the chopped jalapeno and the chopped onion go right into the pan, and you're just gonna stir that around until softened. This should take anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. Now you're gonna come in and you're gonna add 2 cloves of finely minced garlic and give that a stir for about 1 minute. To that, we're gonna add in 1 1/4 cup of half and half, and it's on to the cream cheese. Now your cream cheese doesn't necessarily have to be softened going into this mix, but it will melt down and incorporate much smoother if it is. So I like to put my cream cheese on a microwave safe plate and pop it in the microwave for about 20 seconds. From there, I'm gonna test the cream cheese to see if it's at room temperature. If it is at room temperature, you should be able to easily indent it with your finger without applying a whole bunch of pressure. You might have to add about 15 to 10 more seconds onto your microwave time, and then you're gonna bring it back over to the pan. You're gonna add in 12 ounces of cream cheese. That's 1 1/2 block. And rather than dumping in the whole block, I like to add my cream cheese in sections. Again, this just helps it to melt down faster and smoother. So you're gonna stir that around until your cream cheese is completely smooth and melted. And now we're gonna add in a few spices. For the spices, you're gonna need 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of paprika. You can use regular paprika or smoked paprika. Then you'll add in 1 teaspoon of your favorite hot sauce. Stir that around until everything's evenly distributed. We're gonna remove it from the heat. At this point, you'll add in a 1/4 cup of sour cream. And here's where it gets really cheesy. For this dip, we're gonna use the classic Tex-Mex combination of Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese. Monterey Jack is the smoothest, most meltiest cheese. It is so delicious, just a little bit tangy. It is perfect for this dip. So we're gonna grate 1 1/2 cup of Monterey Jack. We're also gonna get into 1 cup of freshly grated cheddar cheese. You're gonna add half of the shredded Monterey Jack and half of the cheddar to your mix and stir that around until the cheese is melted completely. Add about 2/3 of your bacon into that mix and stir until evenly distributed. We're gonna transfer this mix to a baking dish. You can use a small au gratin dish or an 8 by 8 inch baking dish. And then we're gonna mix up the rest of the cheddar and Monterey Jack, and we're gonna sprinkle that across the top of our cream cheese mix. Add the remaining bacon, and if you wanna add an extra pop of color, grab yourself a small skinny jalapeno and slice it really, really thin. You'll just take those jalapeno slices and wedge them into the cheese. And then we're gonna take the whole shebang over to a preheated 375-degree oven, and you're gonna bake it for 20 to 25 minutes until those edges are hot and bubbly and completely irresistible. I like to serve my jalapeno popper dip with tortilla chips, but you can serve with crackers, Fritos, whatever floats your boat. And guys, we have an entire playlist dedicated to game day recipes. These recipes are crowd pleasers each and every time.